So, is the banking sector in trouble or are they not? Well, let's find out from Jamie Dimon what he thinks and what his opinions are about all of this fiasco that's happening in the banking sector. Now, before we start, my name is Daniel. I run an organization called etfs that promotes financial literacy and teaches you on macroeconomics and relates it with the financial markets. If you like content like this, subscribe, hit the like button and the bell icon to be notified on the next video, and you'll see more content like this. Now, I put the link in the description for you to read up on this, but the title basically says, Jamie Dimon says US needs to finish the bank crisis. Okay, Jamie, how do we finish this bank crisis? Well, Jamie said it's time for regulators to put an end to the turmoil in the banking industry. He also says it's going to get worse for banks. More regulations, more rules, more requirements. Of course, Jamie, you're going to not like what's coming out of this because it means more rules means less profits for you. Although you're the head of all of this and look like the savior in all of this turmoil with you going out and buying many of these bank stocks for peanuts and for cheap prices, right? Now, Jamie also comes out and says if you overdo certain rules, requirements, regulations, there are some of these community banks that tell me they have more compliance people than loan officers. Jamie also says we need to finish this bank crisis. Like I said, whatever the FDIC or OCC or the Fed, whatever they need to do to make it better, they should do. Well, maybe whatever you need to do to make it better, because you are definitely the front runner up when it comes to saving and buying a lot of these businesses. And whatever Jamie's or JP Morgan's agenda is, right? No matter what they're saying, whether this crisis is gonna end soon or not, the key is that definitely Jamie is someone or JP Morgan is a company that would prosper on buying many of these assets, and especially if they get incentives to buy the good assets and leave the crap assets for the FDIC or for someone else to handle. Of course, they would benefit from all of this. Now, Jamie also talks about and goes in the video about short selling and says that, these short sellers are the problems and they should be prosecuted, and whoever short sells and then tweets about it should go to jail, and etc., which doesn't make any sense because your company, JP Morgan, has been in situations of fraud a lot and been charged for fraud and been in situations where we've taken advantage of people, like situations like the banking sector or people losing their deposits and whatnot, and been in situations also where they've been shorting certain markets. And how do you push out research reports and buy ratings and sell ratings, and at the same time have another sector, another division that goes out and trades maybe against those rules or against what's being pumped out from the analyst ratings and whatnot? So there's many things that one can argue that JP Morgan is not truthfully doing or also abiding the rules when he talks about short selling should be banned, yet acting and sounding hypocritical when his own firm does similar conduct or acts, and maybe even worse, like fraud. But that's not the point. The point is that with a head of a bank that is out there trying to promote that it's short sellers' fault and they should be blamed for that, is definitely rhymes and rings a bell, just like in 2008 and many other crises before, where they keep blaming the short sellers. But the thing is, with the short sellers, it doesn't stop the prices from going down. It doesn't stop from the act and for the crisis from happening. In fact, it's not good in my opinion, to not have short sellers, because this is what makes the markets flow. I thought we live in a free market. Why should we ban short selling, right? Why should we ban you from buying these banks? Why should you clobber up all of the banks out there and the regional banks? And wouldn't that be unfair, right? As you point out with when it comes to short selling. And again, with the rhetoric of short selling, short sellers are the ones, or the ones who are the ones who are creating the problems, is completely diverting from the real tensions, from the real issues that are happening out there in the economy, which is the issues with the deposits, the banking sector, that, yeah, professionals out there that you trust, that are managing, the banks that you're keeping your money in and think that that's safe, they're screwing up. So if they're screwing up, it should be revealed. It should be out there. It should be talked about. And it should be seen. And trying to put a lid on that and saying that short sellers should not be shorting the markets and they should be this or that or whatever, makes me think, is there something wrong with JP Morgan that they're doing in their balance sheet? Is there something wrong there? Most likely not, but just makes you think, what's JP Morgan's incentive and their views and their whole agenda when it comes to all of this, when they can do all the short selling that they want, and they can do all and commit fraud and this and that, and just get away with it, while the average investor can't get away with much because they're a small little fish in the sea. So interesting to see the comments from JP, from Jamie Dimon, and we'll continue to monitor the situation, but definitely I don't see that this is ending here. I feel that this is just the beginning, and we have seen this story previously in 2008 where one trickles and one falls and the other follows. Could we see the same thing again? Definitely, I think that's a possibility. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment below. Subscribe. Hit the like button, bell icon to be notified on the next video. And I'll see you guys around. Cheers. Bye.